What makes me happy is freedom. A very special freedom. A very personal freedom. A freedom that took me 18 unhappy years to find. A freedom that no one had taken away from me, except me. A freedom that I still see missing from many people's lives, perhaps even yours. When I was 13 years old, I didn't look much different to the way I do now. Well, not my body size anyway. Maybe I was a bit shorter, but no bigger. But TV, magazines, big screen movies had distorted my view, and when I looked in the mirror, what I saw was this. And it started a love-hate relationship with food that imprisoned me in rigid, restrictive, relentless rules. How was it that in this age of such enormous medical advancement, healthy eating was so hard and making me so unhappy? Because if you listen to the experts, all you need to do before putting anything in your mouth is know its percentage fat content and the type of fat it contains, whether it's a monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, trans, or saturated fat. Oh, and whether it raises or lowers cholesterol. And of course, whether it's the good or the bad cholesterol that's being raised. Oh, look, you also need to know its glycaemic index. Actually, more importantly, you need to be able to calculate its glycemic load because there's an important difference. It goes without saying, you have to know its total overall calorie count, its antioxidant score or oxygen radical absorption capacity, whether it has the Heart Foundation tick, whether it's genetically modified, whether it's organically grown, whether you need to detox first, and whether it's safe to combine with whatever else you're putting into your mouth. Oh, hang on a minute. It's not really that simple because there's another group of experts that claim you also need to know your body type, your blood type, your star sign, the state of your liver, your facial analysis, your genetic blueprint, your hormone profile, where you are in your menstrual cycle, and my favourite, the trace mineral composition of your hair. But you know what I discovered? It doesn't have to be that complicated. I mean, how's the rest of the animal kingdom coping with this information overload? Can you imagine what's going on in a koala's head these days? Far out, which eucalyptus leaf has the lowest GI? And am I even eating the right leaves for my type? Complication leads to unhappiness and loss of the most basic freedom with food. So let's look at what healthier, happier populations around the world are eating. The Japanese eat much less fat and much more seaweed than Australians, Americans and New Zealanders, and they have less obesity and fewer heart attacks. The French actually have a rich dairy diet and a rich wine list, but they're slimmer and have healthier hearts than Australians, Americans and New Zealanders. And then there's the Greeks with their high-fat diet and their low gym membership rate, and they're slimmer, happier and live longer than Australians, Americans and New Zealanders. So it's obvious. Eat and drink what you like. It's speaking English that kills you. I'm absolutely serious. We do more damage by what comes out of our mouths than what goes in. Our language, how we speak to ourselves and how we speak about ourselves has a huge impact on our health, our happiness, our longevity, because our self-talk can make or break us. When we take care of what comes out of our mouths, we automatically take care of what goes into our mouths. Mindful, not mouthful, was my first glimpse of freedom and happiness. Have you ever been to a party where you're sitting around, feeling a bit tired and a bit over it, and suddenly they put on your favourite song, and your tiredness seems to fly out the window and you just have to get up and dance? Well, getting up and going for it in life works the same way. What songs are playing inside your head that either motivate you or demotivate you to take the best care of yourself? Because our health is intricately linked to our happiness, and we know the choices that are healthy and the choices that aren't. I've never heard anyone say, I had no idea that a Big Mac and fries wasn't a top nutritional choice. Now that you've told me, I'll never eat Maccas again. And does exercise prolong life? We know we should be skipping rope, not skipping meals. Why don't we? Because we aren't playing the right songs in our heads. And I deliberately use the word song because we can change what we're playing in here. So what do you need to ask yourself that will get you really excited about being fit and healthy? What do you need to say to yourself that will really make you jump up and feel, not think, feel? My health and vitality are the most important things because that's what enables me to bring the best of me to everything I do and everyone I love. Or what song is stopping you looking after yourself? Is it the song, look, I'm just too busy, I'm too tired, it's all too hard, I don't know where to start? In all my years of medical practice, and we're talking more than 2 decades, I know looking at me you're thinking 2 years, but no, it's been 20. I've discovered that all the songs that stop people looking after themselves boil down to just 2 songs. The first song is, I don't believe that being in peak health will make that much difference to my quality of life. People have forgotten how it feels to have energy and vitality, to feel vibrant and exuberant. I've had people say to me, what planet are you from? Nobody feels exuberant. Everyone's always run down, bogged down, and lately also stood down. It's just a fact of life. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not a fact of life. It's a collective choice that we as a society have made, that it's acceptable not to feel great. It's acceptable to feel tired all the time. Run down is the new normal. And the real tragedy is we've forgotten that it's possible to feel exuberant. The second song that stops people looking after themselves is the song, I'm not important enough. Now, that's not how they express it, but that's what they mean when they say, look, I have to make personal sacrifices for my children, my partner, my work, my clients. I can't let them down. But you can let yourself down because people are inspired by our vitality, not our productivity. Our life force, our zest, our passion, our peak health, our happiness is our gift to the world, to all the people we love. What happens when white light is shined through a prism? It separates into its different coloured wavelengths. What would happen if we removed just one single tiny narrow wavelength? We'd no longer have white light because it has to have every single colour present. Humanity is like white light. Each one of us represents a different coloured wavelength. If you weren't there as part of the mix, humanity would be incomplete and in darkness. That's how important you are. Your unique colour and your happiness are your gift to the world. When I looked after my light, when I found my freedom and my happiness, I was able to help others find theirs. So look after your light and really let it shine.